Sufian Awareness. Salam. Salam. We got to bring an awareness to this understanding so we can be able to navigate properly, understand life, and to know how did man-made things come into existence and destroy the ideals of the divine creator. This was done purposely by the same group of men who created the city of Satan. So for short, we just call them Satanists, because that's what they are at their core, and that's what was on record. And they destroyed that so they can use a better name that sound more pleasing to the ear. But we need to call a duck and a truck, as the Southern cliche goes. This form of wickedness they use is called kabbalah magic. Again, it's called kabbalah magic. And that's a reversing of a language that's understood to be the original name, and they reversed it to create a reverse name, a false name, and therefore a false pronunciation, and therefore a false language inclusive. So your Kabbalah magic is where most of your later day, modern day languages come from after the 17th century. You know, they started compiling and really working on this and putting it together in the 12th century, in the 14th century, and working it way. The Middle Ages is where they stole and did all the stealing and was reverting the reconstruction of the South, as it was called, but it wasn't. Let's say it was a reconstruction of the ideas, because South was the mind. So to now reconstruct the South was to make North the South. And that's what has been done. And so now they have reversed the mind and made it the low in the name of the high. So they have reversed a whole original way by doing it in reverse and creating the wicked way. And that is called, when you do things in reverse, it's called Kabbalah magic. And the higher self, and pardon, the lower self. The lower self is what the higher self is not. The higher self is the reverse of the lower self. So in order to bring about a lower self and place it as the most high, they created what is called the Kabbalah magic. Now the Kabbalah magic consists of an old ancient practice that was not alphabetically scripted and not numerically scripted. And so these things was written as they was originally written in holy ways, or what they would call sacred writs, holy writs, or you may know them as scriptures. And these, the way scriptures are written, is they have the name of the chapter, then the number, and then its phrase. See, that was the ancient practice of a therapeutic art. But dealing with the evil men of Satan, the evil men coming from the city of Satan, the Satanists, they reversed it through Kabbalah magic and created an alphabetical script that equated to a numeral script. So numbers and letters was interchangeable in Kabbalah magic, and this way they was able to now hijack languages and alphabet scripts, and now imbue Kabbalah magic within it. And so these are how sorcerers and magicians first start using a reverse way of life to now condemn and confuse the minds of the people. So in our time, this was way more wicked. In the past, it's 2,000 years ago, it was complete bloodshed every day for 1,000, 2,000 years of war. So today, it looks a little more decent because they have upgraded their magics. And so back then we didn't know it was called magics. So this is where you get the magi from, the people who was practicing Kabbalah magic. And so these people was priests of Babylon. So being priests of Babylon, these Babylonian priests were Satanists. And they used something called black magic to condemn the people. This is what we know as Kabbalah magic. And how to condemn their people, they had to use the magic and put it into a book and put into a text. And that the text would be imbued with such of the magic that the people who read the text will believe it to be true. So this is how they enforce their first false religion. And the first false religion was Mithra. And so Mithra was the way of reversing the higher self and turning into the lower self. Everything that harms a sinful nation. A city of transgressors of Sodom and Gomorrah. This was their objective. And the target intended was us, humanity, all of humanity, because they separated themselves from humanity, which made them an isolated group. And as an isolated group, they was filled with what we know today as scribes and doctors and lawyers and priests and astrologers, these things. And these are how they created a illusion. They created illusion. A-L-L of illusion, I-L-L. So now we have to understand that was done by Kabbalah magic. Now magic is on the scene in the 21st century and Kabbalah is on the scene in the 21st century. Okay, so now this is why, because what is done in the light must come to the shade. So now we must understand that there's an action that has been hidden from us, but those actions has been occulted by false scripture. So now these priests have created false scripture. And these false scriptures is what has become the false religions of the 21st century. And we should know by now the three-headed dog. We should be educated enough now to know about the three-headed dog. The three-headed dog represents a symbology of the three false religions. Now, the three false religions, it begins with Mithraism, and Mithraism being the one hidden occult wisdom magic. This is where all of the three religions keep their doctrines re-originating from, pursuing, like I say, new texts of divine revelation, which is not. It's just written by men who are the false prophets. So all this occurs, and so the three false religions is Judaism, Christianity, and Islamism. These three are the three false religions created through Kabbalah magic. These are ancient Babylonian Sumerian practices. Sakura. These are ancient Kabbalistic Babylonian magic practices that we now can call blood magic, sex magic, and money magic. Judaism, Christianity, Islamism. So each of these three have their three false scriptures, all created out of Kabbalah magic. For Judaism, you have the Mishnah and the Talmud. For Christianity, you have the unholy Septuagint. In Islamism, you have the Septuagint, known as the Quran. So these three have been forged on the people through fraudulent means to deprive you of your free will and deny your right to choose your own actions, including what to believe and what not to believe. This was subjugated through psychological subversion. How? Through Kabbalistic ideals. So these Kabbalistic ideals are from the Satanists. So through Kabbalah magic is how the Satanists push their ideals through something called media. Media is a powerful form of expression to express Kabbalah magic, to cast it far and wide through a process called broadcasting. So these people being real scripted, by writing false scripts, they know how to play the perfect act. So being actors, they write scripts for people to play the character of. And this is what they call their magic cube. When you become a player on their game board. And so through Kabbalah magic, this is how you have your three false religions that we know of today. And we will cover more of them in the next upload. The focus and intention is on Kabbalah magic for this upload. So we need to upload ourselves to the ideals that Kabbalah, however they say it, the Kabbalists, the Kabbalist, has used Kabbalistic ideals to ideologically subvert the minds of the people to making them believe ideas created by others. So in the later upload, we'll upload more of the Satan or the Kabbalistic, what I call the Satan man math, which is a form of Kabbalistic magic expressed as wisdom magic. So some things we have to be careful with the name wisdom attached to it, because it can contain magic. And if you don't know the difference between divine mind, opposite of wisdom magic, then if you come to that moment, you want to do nothing and follow your heart. But when you do the other hand, then you do not want to occur in the other way. The other way is the way that go astray. So those who was kicked out of the holy city practice and follow the practice of kabbalah magic. This will sum up your Jesuits, your Masons, your Shriners, your fraternized sororities, any type of hood. All of that is falsehood. Magic made to deceive you and I and all of we to the oneness of our divine creator, who we understand as divine mind. So we have a clarity on Kabbalah magic, and that it is geared to deceive the people. And the reason and its purpose was not only to create the false religions, but the reason why to create those false religions was to create the concept of the devil. So the Satanists needed a concept, so they created a concept called the devil. And they needed this devil to be you and me. So this is why we have to understand more precisely you, because it's an ancient practice that goes back in time, where the name Musa comes in, and that's where you get the name you. So we have to understand Musa was not using Kabbalah magic. This is why there's a story and events happening where they're going, let's say, wisdom versus magic, where the magicians of the Pharaoh threw their staff down, and then Musa threw his staff down, and Musa won. That was a event of showing the Kabbalah magic, which is wisdom magic, versus the divine mind, which is the Sufian. So we have to understand that the war was in heaven was versus the Sufians versus the Satans. And so this is where you come to the word Kabbalah and Kaaba. That is the magic. That is the magic cube. Kaaba and Kabbalah, that's the magic cube. The magic cube is designed to trap the spirit, soul, and body into the abyss. So this is why you want to be understanding of what religion you are in and what religion you are of, and the studies and the practices in that religion. And do they associate or even mention divine law? Most importantly, divine law in relation to natural law. Because you can believe in a lie and you can believe in the truth. But if you don't know, then you only can believe in a lie. And that's the purpose for Kabbalah magic. For you to believe in a lie that will lead you into the abyss, trading places with the sorcerer, or trading places with the magi or the kabbalists. So Kabbalah magic is intended for your life. Your life is at stake if you don't understand the Sufian. The Sufian destroys all magic. So, peace, love, and wisdom. Sufian Wadu.